Okay, here we go. Vince Campy here, and we're going to do a portrait composite. We're going to change up the background, put a texture on there, and make it sassy and moody. All right, so we have this photo here. Now we're going to do some basic editing on it. So I'm going to set the white and black point, of course. I'm holding Option or Alt, and I'm going to drag that to the left. Get a little spot like that. Okay, that's our black point. You can see up here in the histogram that it's doing that. Now the whites, I'm going to do the same thing. Oh, got the thing blown out right there. So what I'm going to do with the whites, bring it down a little bit, then maybe bring the highlights down, get some more detail, or get some detail in her shoulder there. Ah, so much nicer than it was. All right. So now the white balance is a little odd. Let's try this, zoom in a little bit, and I'm going to click on her eyeball right there, and that cools it down quite a bit, maybe a little too much. Warm it up again, a scotch. Once you adjust the white balance, then you can just look at it and see if it's rocking. Okay, and it's rocking now. All right, but the whole thing's a little bright right now, so I'm just going to bring the whole overall exposure down a little bit. Oh, there we go. Okay, because it's going to be a darker, moodier piece, so we want to get it dark and moody. All right. All right. There we go. A lot of all rights there. And bring the shadows up a little bit so we can make sure we still have some detail in the shadow areas right there. Okay. So now I'm going to go over to Photoshop. So I'm going to right click on there, edit in Adobe Photoshop 2022 or whatever you have. Okay, we're going to go right over there. Oh, hello, mama. There we are. Okay, so we have this. If you want to do any of the skin retouching or anything like that, you can do that. But first, we're going to make a copy of the background layer. I like to do that. Just always have a safe one that's the original. And so I'm going to Command or Control J. We'll make a copy of that layer. Now I'm going to name that Portrait, right? Because it's the portrait. Oh yeah, you heard me. I got your portrait right here. Portrait this. All right. Okay, so we have that. Now we're going to run it through the Neuro filter, the skin smoothing Neuro filter. So we have this top layer selected. Filter, Neural filters. Neural. Hey, Neural. Yeah, what do you want? Your name is Neural? No. You may have to download it. If it has this little cloud down thing, you'll have to download that. But skin smoothing. Okay, I'm going to just turn that on. It's doing its magic. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so I'm going to Command or Control plus sign. Then the space bar, so I can zoom in a little bit to see what's happening here. Okay, it's looking pretty good. She's got a curious expression on her face there. So I'm going to bring the blur down so it doesn't soften it quite as much, and it brings out some of the pores, the pore structure of her face. I'm looking at that smoothness, and it's looking rather sassy. Okay, that's cool. So a real simple thing like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go on the current layer. So it'll add it right to the current layer. So hit OK or press OK. Just press OK. Whoa. Up there it is. Oh. Okay. Alrighty then. So have that. Okay, not much of a change there, but that's okay. So now we got that happening. We're going to go ahead and select her now. I'm going to press Command 0 to make sure it's fitting in the window, and it is. And so the selection that we're going to use, selection tool, is right here, and it's the Object Selection Tool. Okay, it may be under the Quick Selection Tool, but right here we use Object Selection Tool. Okay, now we just make a rectangle around the person or the object you want to select. Oh, hello, look at that. Okay. Oh, well, you can draw a rectangle around there. Sometimes I start at the bottom, so make sure you get the whole person in there. You draw a rectangle around the person, let go, and blah, 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 blah. That's a drum roll. Selected. Okay. When you go over it like that and had that color, that overlay, that doesn't happen in older versions. So this version, it does. Okay, so we have that, made it pretty up. It doesn't do that in the older versions. All right, so now we're going to go to Select and Mask. Oh, there we have it, Select and Mask. And up here, we're going to choose the View mode, right? So View, let's zoom in a little bit there. Okay, we're going to click on that little down arrow. We're going to go to On Black. Then you have to click over here to get rid of this little rascal. Click over there. And the opacity, we're going to raise that up so we see it a little darker. All right, that did a pretty darn good job there, Davey. Okay, so I'm just pressing the space bar. I'm going to move that over a little bit. All right, so now on this side of the screen, wow, that's all the way over there. We're going to use this little fella here, the Refine Edge Brush Tool. That's a long name. All right, so click on that. And then we're going to go back over here. Okay, just traveling around. I'm going to use the bracket keys right next to P to make this maybe a little bit bigger. And then I'm just going to draw around her head there a little bit. Let go. And let's see. Okay, it looks worse than it did. What it looks like it added to it. Okay, not feeling that. Let's see if this radius helps out once we do that. Okay, let's paint around here a little bit more. And it's kind of getting the little frizzoids there. Okay. And all right, this is perfect. It just is doing kind of weirdness to it. It's getting the hair, but it's also getting the background in there. Going like that. See, now it did a beautiful job right there. Okay. I'll just go ahead and paint around her hair. And the bottoms. It's always did a pretty nice job there. Now we're going over here, painting around there. Right there. Okay, it seems like nice. Now, it seems like nice. Okay, there's a little green in here, so I'm just gonna click and paint in there a little bit. Let's see what's happening over here. Okay. So she has a little stray going there, and paint over this. Okay, so it looks a little weirdish. Let's put Smart Radius on and see what that does. It's not doing anything. Okay, this is exactly what you do when you do selections. Is you experiment. And so we drew around her head with that Refine Edge tool. Let's see if we bump that over. Okay, that didn't help at all. Let's see, maybe a little bit of that. Okay, zoom out a little bit there. And let's see. Okay, so something I normally do, I'll do a little smoothing for it here. Okay, smooth that out a little bit. This looks like a pretty darn good selection, so I don't have to do a whole lot. I'm going to feather a tiny bit, around a pixel, a 1.0 right there, just to kind of, whenever there's a hard edge like that, just to soften it the tiniest bit. It makes it look like it fits in a little bit more. So scrolling down here, Shift Edge, that's going to shift it in a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to shift that a little bit like that. And then you put it in a little bit, then you look and watch what it does, and maybe move it in a little bit more. Okay, that looks pretty good. We're going to use the background colors and everything, so it's not critical that it's El Perfecto. All right, so now the output settings. But output to layer mask. Layer mask. That's the layer mask song. Okay. So we have all that, and it looks pretty darn good. It's not perfect, but hey, either am I. You probably didn't know that. Okay, so we're gonna do that. Whoa, that's so crazy. Okay, so now if we turn off the background layer, we'll see what we have. Hey, that. Poor thing, it looks like she crashed. Okay, what I'm going to do, because here is actual hair. So this is just now a layer mask. So click on there. I'm going to go press B to get the brush tool. Go up here, get a general brush right here. Okay, soft rounding, and go maybe 50%-ish. Okay, and I'm going to zoom in. So I'm holding Z and dragging a little bit. See? Oh, that poor thing. Her hair got mussed. There's a little tragic hair thing there. So now using the bracket key to raise that up a little bit, I'm on this mask, so I'm going to paint white because white reveals what's on that layer. So I'm just going to go in there a little bit, add some of that hair back in. Okay. There we go. We got some of the green and stuff over there, so I'm not going to get too much with that. Go out of there a little bit. Okay. And some of these chunks I'll put back in there. Okay. Yeah. That's the airplane noise that brushes make. I know you're probably like, what? Brushes make airplane noises? Why, yes they do. So I'm going to go right around there. Okay, maybe a little bit up there. Oh, we got a hole there. Okay, so it did a pretty duty job, which means not very good. Okay. All right, so I'm going to get rid of that. So I need to paint with the black to get rid of that because that conceals what's on that layer. So I'm going to just press X. As you notice, when you press X, it changes the foreground with the background, and so I'll just get rid of that there because we don't need that no more. All right, so now I'm going to move up here, and we're looking good. All right, this is Sammy, by the way. Okay, Command 0 to fit her in there. Now, Command S will save it. It'll save it back into Lightroom. Okay, this is round tripping is what this is called. So it goes out of Lightroom into Photoshop and then back. Okay, so now go ahead and turn your background layer on. Okay, now I'm going to press Command or Control J on Windows. So Command J. Now we're going to just jack this one up and we're going to make it a background for her. All right, so I'm going to take her out of here. And let's see if we can do that with one fell swoop. So let's go ahead and, oh, we have a selection right here. Doody dum dum. Now, if you press Command key and you click on the mask there, it's going to load that selection. Now, let's see if it will let us content aware fill her right out of there. Let's see what happens. Boom. You know what? That's totally good enough. Hey, you gotta love that. All right, so now you can output to current layer. Yeah, sure, because we made that extra copy, right? And so now hit OK. And it looks like she's there because she's there. Now we need to deselect because the selection is still active. So you can press Command D, Command or Control D, or Select Deselect. All right, so now we have this little wild situation right here. I'm going to get rid of this little line there because that's not rocking my soul. So we have this background copy selected. I'll just go ahead and it doesn't really matter. So the spot healing will work perfectly on this, hopefully. All right, so I'll make it a little smaller and then just draw on there and let's see what happens. Beautiful. Okay, we just need to get rid of that because it's too distinct. Now I'm going to hold the space bar to zoom in and go right along there. Of course, it has to make the airplane noise. And boop. All right. Go over here to this side. Bada bada bing bang boom boom bum. All right, that's the song for this thing here. Okay, there we go. And we're going. Oh my God, it's going. Oh, ran into the wall in my head. Okay. Oh, we got a little fuzz there, so we get rid of that. Okay. So we can do that there as well. Okay. Oh, that's hair and skin color things. Okay. Okay. And bada bing, bada boom, boom. Okay, so we got most of that out of there. Now, what we can do, because this may interfere with what we got going, I want to use these green tones. Okay, green is a good color. It works really well for backgrounds. Greens, and teals, blues, that kind of thing, because it's opposite of skin tones. Skin tones are warm, and these are cool natural tones, earth tones, if you will. So I'm gonna go hair. I'm gonna go hair. Healing brush tool. You can do patch. Yeah, patch would work. Okay, that'll be able to do a little more quickly. So let's use the patch. What do you say, kids? Okay, so I'm gonna circle that and just drag it over there. There we go, and grab this little nacho. Bring that up there. Okay. And we're gonna blur the snot out of this thing. It will have no more snot in it when we're done. Oh, it's got these little brighties there, so maybe get rid of some of those. And I will leave these here because it'll create an interesting thing, I believe. Or not. It might suck. Okay, so we have this all jacked up. So now I'm going to hit Command 0 to fit it in. So this is our window, right? We'll leave these tones here. We could patch those. Oh, hello. We could patch it up, but I just want to see what it looks like. It might look pretty cool. Non-destructive editing here. So we have that. So I'm going to right click and we're going to convert to smart object. So we're going to convert this layer to a smart object, and that puts it in a container. That's what a smart object is. It holds it. So now we're going to go over here to filter. Now this will be a smart blur, so you'll be able to change it afterwards. Okay, so blur. So blur, Gaussian blur, that's like the most widely used blur of all the blurs. Okay, so let's scroll this up. Okay, that's 17. That's 80. Ooh. That looks pretty nice. What if I go up to, well, that's a little too much. But see, yeah, those brown tones ended up looking pretty nice. So it doesn't really have to be that much. You want a little bit of, not really detail because it's gone. A little bit of modeling or whatever in there. So that looks cool. That looks good. So I'm at about 67. You may go to 100. Maybe you go to 500. Try it and see if it, gets an interesting texture-y kind of look like that. Well, it won't look like this, but whatever yours looks like. Now, I think with the smart filter, if you turn the visibility off, what? It's back. Sick, bro. So, and you can always go in and edit it more and change that if you want. Now, if you turn your little rascal on there, look how natural that looks. That is unbelievable. All right. So again, Command 0 to make sure she is centered and fits right in there. Okay.